we started the parade down
At the train station.
Station Road, and then we walked all the way up to the green.
So everyone was walking through the town, and it was really weird because there was no cars, and everyone was like dressed up in dresses you wouldn't even see today.
There was a podium set up, and we had all just walked up from the train station.
Yeah, and we made a song in school about the 1916.
About Paddy.
Paddy Featherstone or something.
Featherstone, yeah.
And we sang a song about it.
It was like going back in time with everyone dressed up like they were in 1916.
And it was very funny to see the adults dressed up as well as the children.
For myself, I had a peep into the Amal Hall where the Camera Club were setting up, putting the finishing touches to their exhibition, which just turned out magnificently. It was probably one of the highlights of the day itself, and everybody was talking about it for weeks after.
Yeah, on the Sunday morning we would arrive down around 7:30 in the morning to get things ready, and there was people on the street at that stage, so I kind of knew there was going to be something fairly serious.
We had a number of stalls, different things that were going on, like in 1916 I think there was people selling chickens. Someone else had draft beer of the time of 1916. There was another woman there and she was spinning wool. There was a blacksmith then up the top of the road and he was shoeing horses and all the different things. And on the houses then they had all the different names of who lived there and what they were doing and whether they were married, how many people lived in the house. And that was on all the houses coming up. And everybody around Dunlavin had their Ireland flag out, their tricolour out. And it was a fabulous day, and there's still a lot of people out there now still have their tricolour out.
And the streets had been actually cleared, and it was the first time I'd seen Dunlavin probably without a car in the main street. We had one or two small cars, or I think somebody had gone away for the weekend and we couldn't get rid of the cars at the corner.
I suppose I ended up at the end of the parade itself having helped out with organising everybody get out and on the road and get things going. And it was just incredible coming up the Bun Ditch, and as we took that turn and the market house was in view, and it's just such a fabulous building, and for me it just made me realise, gosh, what a great town we live in, what great people all out in the parade and all the heads in front of me making their way up.
There was like everyone from the town was there, and it was like packed. And it was like when you were singing, there was like everyone was watching you. It was kind of like nervous, but yeah.
Everybody dressed up in like clothes that people would have worn in 1916, and it was really cool.
Yeah, the costumes were like really good.
There was no cars actually in the town that day. It was very rare to see Dunlavin so busy but with no cars on the street. There was the odd vintage car. It was great to see. The kids all got in for photographs.
The weather was amazing. There were stalls everywhere on the street. You wouldn't recognise the street walking up. Everybody made a huge effort. They had the flags. There was the green, white and gold was everywhere. You really felt proud to be part of it. There was a massive atmosphere and a great sense of community spirit that I'd never seen before in Dunlavin. It was a really, really proud day for everybody.
It was a lovely, beautiful sunny day. We couldn't have had a nicer day. There was a crowd turned out, everybody dressed up, even the grandchildren, children, young and old, everybody dressed up in costume. It was a very nice day, a day people remember for a long time to come.
It was a massive success, so much so that the All-Ireland final programme, All-Ireland football final programme, has a little reference to Dunlavin 1916-2016 and a little photo of St Nicholas GAA Club walking up around the Bun Ditch. So that in itself is something that I'll always remember.
My own personal memories would have been one of great organisation, one of great participation, one of great visiting people coming to the town. We would have had a plan for maybe 500 in the parade, and we would have planned for maybe another 500 people visiting us. We think we've trebled that amount of people here on the day. We reckon there's between 2,500 and 3,000 people.
Well, I must say that the 8th of May was an absolutely marvellous day here in Dunlavin. We had an absolutely massive sort of a turnout, lots of support from all of the organisations, and it was really lovely to see each of the banners of each of the organisations as they went up through the town.
I didn't actually join the parade because the parade started further down the village. I saw them accumulating there, and I worked my way back up towards where John O'Reilly was, setting up the equipment at the monument. And then I watched the parade as it came up the main street, and everybody, all the community groups were represented. They all were in period costume, which I thought was very, very good, and especially the children.
It was just fantastic to be part of it and to realise that you know, been on that committee and the work that we had done, everything was just falling into place and coming together nicely.
One of the big features for me on the day was the carrying of the tricolour up through the town. The tricolour was carried by 3 local lads, all members of our Defence Forces. We had able seaman Darrell Huntley, Corporal PJ Grace and Sergeant Darren Stokes, all natives from Dunlavin. A really proud moment. When we came to the raising of the flag, we called for silence, and you could hear a pin drop. The flag went up on our new flagpole, and it was a very proud moment indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to record what we're doing today, we've placed a plaque on the side of the monument, and the plaque hasn't been unveiled yet, but we've asked 2 of our senior citizens in town here to unveil our plaque, and the people we've asked is Mrs. Greta Conroy and Mr. Paddy Gaines, please.
Thank you very much.
Step back. Silence for 1 second. Okay.
Thanks very much, Maddie, and thank you, Greta. Well done. That was lovely. Thank you.
When we came up to the monument, myself and Peter and Nancy and Kitty, we all held the wreath and we put it on the monument.
Standing there, it was a great honour to be there with the other three representatives.
I felt very honoured and privileged on behalf of my family to be part of it.
It was a great honour to be asked. I was very happy to do so, to remember my late grandfather.
Then some of the people from our school, they read out the proclamation.
Poblacht na hÉireann, the provisional government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to the flag and strikes for her freedom.
Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory.
We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government have not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations.
The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government, which have divided a minority from the majority in the past.
Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer to civil liberty and military affairs of the Republic in the trust for her people.
We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government.
Pug Pierce. Joseph Plunkett.
Eamon Count.
James Connolly. Thomas McDonough.
Jane McDermott, Sean McDermott.
Thomas Clark.
That's what we'd like to see done now. For the tradition to be carried on now that we have done something like this, to get that enjoyment, and maybe it'll show people what can be achieved by people just striving together. It didn't cost a whole lot. It cost people's time. So if people's time brings enjoyment to a community, well, I'm all for it anyway.
It was a day when a lot of people actually tried to connect, if you like, to their history. And I think that that's absolutely vital. I think that we have a lot to learn from the past, and I think really that because of my, if you like, sort of a background as a local historian, I was absolutely thrilled to see the turnout, to see the interest, to see the kids interested in history, to see a lot of the people learning about the past, trying to connect with the past. And I think that that is going to serve as well for a generation to come, at least.